Later, Secretary Eva tells Cry that he shouldn't have sent Tino and others to the dangerous treasure vault, but he shrugs it off, saying that it is just a level 3 vault. Cry says that the sword is a treasure relic, and it was so easy to use that even Gil can manage it without knowing anything about it. He suddenly becomes a relic otaku, saying that the relics found in treasure vaults are amazing, and he wants to collect all of them. He begins fantasizing about Gil's sword and wonders if he should try to buy it from him. Eva scolds him, saying that he already has too many relics, and he replies that every relic is different, so he can never get bored of them. Suddenly, he remembers that he needs to charge his relics, so he goes to a mage in his guild. While the mage charges the relic, she and her partner tells Cry about the phantom wolf seen near the White Wolf's den, which wiped out a caravan that had level 3 guards. Also, the monsters in the vault are becoming stronger recently, and even a team of level 5 treasure hunters went missing inside it. Cry is shocked to hear all this, and he immediately pulls out the mission information page. He had not noticed the names and levels of the people he had to rescue when he took the mission, and now that he sees that they are all level 5, he freaks out, thinking that he sent Tino and others to their death. Once he tells the other two, they freak out as well, but think that this is the way Cry trains those who have potential. Cry immediately leaves the room, trying to convince himself that everything will be alright. On the other hand, Tino's party is near the treasure vault, and the atmosphere has started to become creepy. Even though she already knew that Cry had given her a very difficult mission, she comforts the others by saying that she has faith Cry put this party together for some planned reason only he knows. They are suddenly attacked by a powerful wolf monster wearing armor and carrying a weapon. Tino is terrified because she never thought that the monsters here would be of such a high level, but she decides to fight to fulfill the mission her master has given her. Back at Cry's office, he feels guilty about sending Tino and others to danger, so he decides to help them out himself. He pulls a book in his bookshelf to reveal a secret room, where all his relics are kept. Eventually, his eyes go to the small vault with a rather special relic. When he comes out of the room with everything, Eva almost mistakes him for a thief. After realizing he plans to help them, she notices a forbidden relic around his neck, but Cry hides it, saying that he is not going to use it because it is too dangerous. He then gets to the window and tells Eva that he will be back soon. He activates the power of his robe and flies away like a bat in the night sky without knowing that it has no controls and no brakes. Back at the cave, Tino's party somehow manages to kill another monster far beyond the level that they are used to, and during that encounter, Gil realizes that the mana in his sword has been completely discharged after Cry unleashed the energy from his sword during his demonstration. Scar seems pretty shaken as well, while Ruta breathes hard from the effort of killing just one monster. Scar thinks that they should head back since they don't have the appropriate people or level to deal with these monsters. But Tino straight up rejects their plans, claiming that Cry sent them over for a reason, and there is no way that they are going to disappoint him. She goes as far saying that Gil's sword being discharged might be a part of his grand plan. With her total belief in Cry, she moves forward, and soon they reach the actual dungeon where they find these wolf monsters waiting outside with guns and bows. They all hide behind some rocks and discuss their plan. Everyone decides that it would be for the best if they avoided confrontation in the open and try to enter the cave first. Gil heroically volunteers to distract the doggos while the others run inside. Tino immediately realizes that Gil has the brain capacity of a toaster, as she tells him that the wolves will doggo-style him if he tries anything funny. Gil claims that he still has his legendary sword, and even without mana, it is still a formidable weapon, but as the leader of the group, Tino rejects this. She instead decides that she and Ruta will act as distractions while Gil and Scar will attack the monsters from behind. By pushing past their limits, they end up doing pretty well, and they even manage to take down the 4 wolf monsters. They all seem pretty surprised to see that they are able to beat such strong opponents. Suddenly, some more monsters emerge from the cave, and the party immediately jumps into action. Tino holds back and observes her temporary team, quickly noting that even though they are a small party, they are pretty strong in their own classes despite their evident flaws. While this was all happening, this stupid simp starts fawning over Cry again, thinking that he must have thought about all this beforehand and sent them to this dungeon specifically so that they can gain more confidence. While fighting against the monster, he remembers the time when he shit-talked his own teammates because he felt that they weren't good enough and can't keep up with him. Because of that, he left the team, but he never even thought about how they felt during the whole encounter as they were trying their best to keep up with him. While he is struggling against the beast, Scar regains his footing and pushes the monster away, giving Gil the opportunity to land a massive slash to its chest, killing it immediately. He finally realizes how amazing it could feel to fight in a party where your teammates are not complete retards and moves ahead to the next area. Before walking through the next set of caves, Tino stops them, claiming that she can feel the presence of someone nearby. Scar asks whether it could be the people who were lost in the cave, but Tino thinks that Cry must have arranged for them to fight against a boss monster before they can retrieve the injured party members. She claims that they can't grow if they only take on the safest tasks. This ends up resonating with Scar, who claims that she might be right since after becoming a level 4 adventurer, he never felt the need to actually go to higher level dungeons, because he lost his drive and ambition. Tino replies that Cry must have seen through him immediately, and that's why he put him in this party so that he can face his fears and grow. She turns around to the rest of the team, telling them that they all were chosen for a reason, as Cry is a god and an elaborate mastermind who calculates everything, and he isn't just randomly sending them to life-threatening missions. Back outside, Cry is freaking out. He starts going as fast as possible, not realizing that he doesn't have any brakes. Because of that, he ends up becoming a pinball as he enters the dungeon while Tino and her party are finally face to face against the giant boss monster. Scar thinks that the boss is way too big for them, and soon the monster tries to hit them with his axe. They all manage to dodge the hit as they run around. Tino realizes that the monster is incredibly powerful and they need a plan to have any chance at defeating it. She notices that the boss is not wearing a helmet, and she thinks that they should aim for its head. She tells Gil to block the next attack while she will try to go in for the killing blow, and Gil agrees to the plan without any hesitation. They all get ready to engage once again as the monster steps forward. Gil manages to block its attack with his sword, while Scar attacks it from behind, only to get bitch slapped in the face. Tino quickly rushes towards the beast, dodging the hits while the monster tries attacking Scar again and breaks his sword. The monster would have killed Scar if not for Tino, who jumps up on its axe and starts running towards its face. She takes the leap of faith, but unfortunately the beast is much quicker and ends up slashing her across her legs, while she stabs him in the back of the neck as she has watched too much Attack on Titan. The plan works out for them as the monster disappears while she drops to the ground and takes out a health potion to heal her wound. Gil and Scar both are relieved that they are alive as they walk towards Tino, who gives Scar her sword, claiming that she can survive without it for a bit. Suddenly she senses something and dodges a spear heading towards her from the darkness. They are all incredibly shocked at this since the boss is already dead, but soon 4 more boss monsters emerge from the darkness, carrying several different weapons. This time even Tino feels like Cry went a little overboard, as one boss was enough, but she is not going to let him down. She gets up once again and plans to quickly enter the nearby narrow cave where the beasts won't be able to chase them. But one of the monsters immediately covers the entrance, blocking their escape. Scar and Gil both speak up, telling the girls that they will act as bait while they quickly escape through the caves. Ruta tries to argue, but Scar tells her not to worry, as everyone dies one day and it's better that some of them survive today. Tino, on the other hand, is not willing to sacrifice anyone, as she wonders what Cry would have done in this situation. Suddenly she remembers that she has the magical ring that he gave her. She tells them to back her up, so all 3 of them quickly attack the monster in quick succession, one after the other, while Tino uses the ring, which can shoot an air bullet at the enemy, and charges it before blasting the monster's eyes with it. The boss monster starts flailing around while Gil decides to go for the killing blow. Unfortunately, he ends up getting smacked away, and by the time Tino tries to help him, all the monsters are already on top of them. Just when they thought everything was over, Cry bursts into the cave and blasts the monster away into the wall. Tino is surprised to see him here, while Scar realizes that these beasts seem scared of him. One of the monsters tries to attack him, but thanks to Cry's protective relics, nothing happens to him. Cry quickly shoots a magic blast at the monster using his magic rings. The attack blasts the monster into the wall once again. He quickly takes out a smoke bomb and uses it to give everyone some cover to run away, and thanks to that, they all manage to escape. Cry then quickly heals Tino's legs, after which he tells them all to follow him, even though he himself is scared about not knowing what lies ahead in their adventure. He keeps walking with his head down, because he has absolutely no idea where he is and wishes that someone would take the lead and actually escort them instead. But all the party members have total belief in him, as they expect him to know everything. After some aimless wandering, Gil finally asks Cry whether they are heading for the exit. Cry stays quiet, but Tino speaks up, claiming that he definitely has some other plans as she already knows the entire layout of the caves and they are heading in a totally different direction.